Hi, people. It's been a while. Yeah, sorry about that. Also, this video is late. I mean, it is a Sunday and not a Friday, but, yeah. So, it's a fluffy week this week, but I have missed a lot of. I've just missed a lot of videos and a lot of topics, so I thought I would touch on two that I missed that I actually really wanted to talk about, especially since the past couple of months, there are things that I have thought about. So, one week we talked about pronouns, and another week we talked about how we see our future. So, I guess, which should I talk about first? Let's talk about pronouns first. Ever since I actually started asking people to use they, them pronouns for me, I haven't put much thought into my own individual pronouns, except how to get people to actually use them. But not not anything about my choice in pronouns or how my pronouns make me feel. I did think about that, like, in the very beginning when I, was still in the questioning process but like farther along, and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm non-binary, and so it's the next question I asked myself is, like, what pronouns do I want? And at the time, I saw like a variety of pronouns. They, them was the most common pronoun I saw non-binary people use, but there was also z here, z zir, and other ones like fey, fair, a, air, what else? M, I think, like em. I forgot what the possessive or the objective one for that one is. V, vir, viz. So there are a lot of pronouns out there, and I read what other non-binary people had to say about their pronouns, and it seemed like a lot of people had a sense of, oh yes, like, these are the pronouns for me. These just clicked. Like, these make me feel good. And at the time, I was like trying to figure out, are there any pronouns that make me feel good? And the first thing I tried out was they, them pronouns, and it just seemed very strange to me, just because of the grammar. So, like, referring to myself as, like, oh yeah, like, this is Z, they are non-binary, they like to do this, or whatever. As opposed to, this is Z, she is a girl, she likes to do whatever. But, like, so it was weird in that sense, but gender-wise, it was not weird. Unlike, she, her pronouns, which, now that, like, at the point, I was like, it was really hitting home that gender was not the way I thought it was, and that when people misgendered me, when people referred to me as she, they were assuming that I felt like a girl, when I didn't. So she, her had, like, also a discomfort with it now because of gender. And him was like, no. At the time I was like, hell no. Like, that sounds like silly to me to refer to myself that way. Yeah. So I was like, I tried other, like, just writing down by myself. I tried other gender neutral pronouns, and none of them had that click, which I had heard other non-binary people refer to and trans people refer to. So I was like, okay, well, if there isn't one that's like I feel very strongly towards, I'll just use they them, because then, like, it's the most common one. It's one where, like, I will have to teach people how to use it for me, but the actual pronouns themselves, everyone already knows them. So I chose that, and now I'm at the point where it sounds totally natural to me, and, like, those generally are my pronouns. When I was coming to the realization that I'm actually gender fluid, I guess the biggest focus I had was, when thinking about it, was like, sometimes there would be a couple of times I just noticed that there would be a day where someone would refer to me as she, and I wouldn't feel this, like, that small sense of, like, wrongness or confusion or whatever that I usually did. This was after I went to college, so when I was actually when I actually had, like, friends and people socially who used my actual pronouns. So, I still got misgendered pretty constantly, but it was still, like, I spent more time being correctly gendered than being misgendered. Luckily, because I just spent a lot of time talking to my friends and no one else. So a couple times people misgendered me as she, and, like, I didn't feel the usual way, and I was like, At that time I was already questioning, so I was like, that's a point in the, yeah, I am actually gender fluid column. And then there were some days, like, where them felt like misgendering, which was really weird and sort of threw me off. And, a couple times I was, like, questioning. I was like, I feel kind of guy-ish. And so I wondered if maybe, like, he, him pronouns at that moment would feel right or would fit. So I just thought about it in my head, and it seemed like at the time it would. I didn't have anyone I didn't have any, like, close friends where I could be like, I felt comfortable being like, hey, so I'm having some gender feelings right now, so can you just talk about me extensively out loud in the third person and use he, him pronouns. So I've seen people who at different times, like, depending on how their gender is at the moment, they use different pronouns. And I really don't know. It seems to me like if I did that, it would be hard for, like, the people, like, I know socially to... I'm afraid that it would like, because they would have to get used to, like, remembering at any given time or asking at any given time. But I've kind of been wanting that on days where I feel different than I usually do. I've really been wishing that I could do that. And I don't know if it would increase just general misgendering, especially from my friends, then I don't really want to. I don't know. I might try it, but I don't know. Yeah. I'm at the point where it's like 100% confirmed gender fluid, but still am not used to thinking of myself in that way. It's just strange. If you haven't already, you should check the video that Lucienne made for us. Like that's on it's the one that about what's been going on with the channel. Like, we've all been dealing with shit. Me personally, is the situation which, if you want to know details, like, if you want to know details, you can check out my Tumblr. I'll make a post explaining what's been going on, and yeah. And everyone else has been dealing with that stuff, so, but as far as the future of the channel, we have a lot of applications, and applications are still open, so if you want to, please do apply, but even if you don't, like, we have, like, made some progress on choosing who the new members will be, and we're all, gonna evaluate, like, our own ability to stay on the channel, and hopefully we can, like, build the channel up so that it's more stable and productive the way it was before. Yeah. And if you have any questions, if you want to know if your application has been received, just send us an ask on the Tumblr. And, yes. I hope everyone is having, like, a nice beginning of summer. Or winter if you live on the southern hemisphere. But, yeah. Okay. I think this video is over now. Thanks for watching it. I know that my videos, when I do post them, have been very lacking in quality. So if I stay on the channel, then like I will make sure that changes, and that, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Bye everybody.